World champions start at the club level. Doing the Toastmasters contests are a challenge to prove how much you have improved in your public speaking, where your practice really is. And as our Sonia says, club contests are the best intensive course in public speaking. But, such as in many other things in Toastmasters, you also have an opportunity to practice your leadership and your management skills. Namely, if you decide to organize a club contest. Today, I'm going to share my experience organizing a club contest, so that in the future, when you decide to organize it yourself, you have a better idea on what to expect. I will not go into much detail on the rules, but just a high-level view, and so that you know next year you can come to me to ask for tips and tricks on to run a very successful club contest. First of all, you need a team, an organizing team. And the team has 3 people: the contest chair, the chief judge, and the sergeant at arms. These 3 people are crucial to making the contest happen. They will organize everything and make sure everybody knows what they are doing. They also need to read the rules, and the rules is a 40-page document. But don't worry, at the club level, only about 20% of the rules apply. I don't even know how many apply, I just put 20%, it's around that. So you should, if you're part of this team, you should read the rules. Take 2 hours, 3 hours if you're a fast reader, and go through them easily. Then come back to this presentation which I can share, or this recording, or come back to me, and we can go through them, and it's really much easier than it looks. But at first, I'm an engineer, I don't know how to read rules. It's like, it's written in lawyer. There are no equations, but don't worry about it, you can do it, it's just a few pages. Then you should consider the timelines. My recommendation is that you have 5 weeks in advance to start preparing the contest. You can do it with less, 4, even 3 weeks. But 5 weeks makes it so that you can do it in a calm way, you don't get burnout, and you have time to deal with any last minute changes. I also recommend that you use our technology that's available in our fingertips, such as WhatsApp groups, to make briefings much easier. Put all the judges in a WhatsApp group and explain to them. I'll explain what the judges are in a minute, but put all the contestants in a WhatsApp group, explain the rules, and this way you don't have to send 20 messages. I also recommend you use forms such as Doodle and Google Forms to organize, to get volunteers, and take advantage of the Club Business and Awards. For our guests, this is a time where during the session we speak about the club, and that's a great opportunity to train your inspirational skills. So ask to speak in the Club Business and Awards and inspire people to get involved in organizing the contest and to be part of the contest. So after you consider your timeline and you do your kickoff, what is your role? So, first, the contest chair. The contest chair's mission is to make sure the contestants shine. Okay? The contest chair will also host the meetings, such as Pedro is doing today. And my recommendation is to have 1 contest chair for the club level contests. They need to brief the contestants, explain them the rules, answer any questions. They will also prepare the table topic, which will be 1 table topic for the contestants, and they will also need to speak with the target speaker for the evaluation contests. There is a hidden skill in being contest chair, which we usually don't practice. That is making an interview. We never practice this. However, in the contest, you need to make a 5-minute interview, which is a lot. And you need to prepare it, you need to know how to handle people on stage. If they are maybe a bit shy, make them comfortable, and make sure that you are making the questions flow and that people are entertained during that time. Then we have the chief judge, and the chief judge keeps the integrity of the contest. The chief judge also leads the biggest team with the judges, the counters, and the timers, and they will. Because of this, they support multiple rules. They need to be very familiar with the rules. It's not a big deal. They need to show the judges and the other functions how the rules work. My suggestion is use the Club Business and Award, and you can bring, for example, this is the timekeeper sheet from our contest. Just show it's one page. You have to fill out a form. It's easy, and this way you can inspire and teach people on how to be their function. The chief judge also has another responsibility. They are the authority of the contest. So if there's any challenge to the contest, they are the ones that will decide and will address it. So this is the responsibility of the chief judge. And last but not least, we have the best one of all, the sergeant at arms. The sergeant at arms needs, well, I say the best one of all because usually I am the sergeant at arms. Today it was our wonderful Alicia. But the sergeant at arms has a very important role in ensuring that the business as usual activities, the BAU, works. You need the room. You need to make sure the room is tidied up. You might have some PowerPoint presentation. You need to support the speakers with their PowerPoint presentation. You also need to print out a lot of documents. Usually, you print out the agendas, that's it. For the contest, it's around 30 documents. Okay, it's more than 25. I stopped counting after that. So this is a very important responsibility because also during the sessions, if there's any issue with the microphone, with the camera, the sergeant at arms needs to go to action and make sure that the speaker is not interrupted and that they can perform to their level, and the sergeant at arms needs to solve the technical issue. These are the roles, and in addition to all these roles, each of these three people are leading teams. And the teams are, for the contest chair, his teams is the contestants and the target speaker. The target speaker usually is somebody from outside the club. They don't know how to reach the club. They've never been, maybe. And you need to support them and you need to help them, guide them during this moment. The chief judge, as you can see, has a very big team. 5 judges, 2 counters, 2 timers, and 1 tiebreaker. This is a lot of people to manage. So the chief judge really needs to be focused, especially during the contest itself. And last but not least, so that the sergeant at arms is not alone, he also leads a team, a 1-person team, but it's still a team, which is the waiting room function. The waiting room will support during the table topics contest and during the evaluation contest. So as you can see, it takes about 15 people plus the contestants to run a contest. It's a lot of people. And this is where you practice your leadership, your inspiring of people. You have to convince them to come. Your management, because then you need to make sure they know what to do and they are informed and they can perform to the best of their ability. You can run the contest with less people. For example, you can have 1 timer or 1 counter or even 4 judges. So you can reduce the number of people. However, there's a reason why these people are there, and if you don't have enough people, it's also a great opportunity for you to do some professional networking. Reach out to clubs in your area, people you might not know before, and ask them to participate in your contest. If they are judges, it's even better because they don't have a bias to the speakers. They maybe never heard them, so they can deliver much better evaluation. Then, speaking to each of the roles. So, if you are a contestant, be focused on 2 things. Be original and do your best. Learn the rules, but this is the only thing that matters, okay? Come here, do your best, and go to the next stage. If you are a target speaker, I actually really recommend if you do that. You should not be a target speaker in your own club, but the target speakers for our guests are people that come to speak that will be evaluated by the feedback contest, on the feedback contest. So multiple people will be evaluating one speech. So you'll get the opportunity to have multiple feedbacks to really improve people that you probably never saw before, so they don't know your habits and your usual things that you follow. So If you have the opportunity to be a target speaker, you will get the best feedback ever. Then we have the judges and the tie-breaking judge. They have the same function, except the tie-breaking vote only counts in case of a tie. So if there is no tie, his vote does not count. And then, if you want to be a judge, be discreet, read the criteria. It's a one-page criteria. It's on the back of this page, which I will not show right now, but if you want to be next year, for sure you will know it. And a top tip. If you are a judge, you're not judging the absolute score and the performance of the speakers. You're judging on a relative scale. So you need to decide on a winner in the end. So don't give the max score to the first speaker, so that you have room for the other speakers. Maybe if you think, no, this was the best speech ever, and the next one is even better, what are you going to do? So leave room for relative scores. And then in the end, you can fill out the names, fill out the scores, and after all the speakers, you say 1, 2, 3, cut out the ballot, and the ballot counter will come to you. Then you have the counters. The counters need to be discreet because, well, the judges should be secret. Nobody should know who they are except themselves. In a small room, it's impossible. So the counters should go, collect the ballots, collect the time as well, and then they need to be very good in one crucial skill: addition. You have to add the results from each of the judge. So you put the name of the contestant, the name of the judge, the value, and then in the end you do a sum. Then you have the timers, and the timers have two important things. They need to inform the speakers on the time that they are speaking, because time is a disqualification factor. So if you go over time, you are disqualified. But they also need to, and because of this, they also need to be very strict in the way they keep the time. So they really need to know when the speech starts and when it ends. And there's another thing. They need to make sure the judges don't know the time the speech took, because that could influence the way they score the speech. So usually, in the end, if you are over time, people will clap you out. Not in the contests. In the contests, you just keep speaking until you shut up. Finally, we have the waiting room. The waiting room is needed for the evaluation and the table topics, so that you take the contestants that are not speaking outside, so that they don't get an unfair advantage by listening to the previous speaker. It's very easy to be a waiting room. You just need to be very nice to the people that are outside and make sure they don't use digital devices to cheat, and that's it. Be helpful. Going back to the organizers, as you can see, these are our solar system of organization. My recommendation is, if you're going to run a contest, have one role per person. This is something we did not do in our own club contest last month. We had people with multiple roles. It's a nightmare. Don't do it. Do just one role per person, because it doesn't take a lot of time to prepare one role. But if you have to prepare 2 or 3, then it takes much more time, and you need to be attentive of the volunteers' time. Then, if you have, I also recommend to have one contest chair at the club level. Why? If you have one contest chair per contest, you then have 3 more people here. The complexity is not linear, it's exponential. So you have to explain to 3 more people, then they have to coordinate on stage. Now it's your turn, now it's my turn. Who's going to present this award? Oh, is it me? No, now you need to come. Have a single host. It keeps it clean. And this means that we have 15 people to run a contest. World champions start at the club level. Why do we do this? It looks like a lot of work. It's not. If you're a function, it's really, really easy. If you're an organizer, in looking back, it's easier than it looks. So do it. You can do it. And to make a champion, it takes a team. It takes a team of at least 15 people. It takes a club to make a champion. And we are here to improve ourselves, yes, but also to improve others. So this is my challenge to you. There are still contests happening. The early contest is happening right now in a few weeks. And you can be part of that. You can help make champions. And next year, I'm going to hear it from you. Are you going to make a champion? Can't wait to see you.